Hey, how's everybody doing today? I wanted to share with you real quick. I've had some information conveyed to me, and it's starting to paint a more clearer picture of what's going on here locally, and start to give me a better idea uh, of what this investigation is truly about. Because at first I thought it was just about moronic public servants, but now I realize that it's much more than just a few moronic public servants. It's in fact treason. Um, when the local public servants are trying to utilize the court system to subvert established law and the constitutions, um, primarily these bar registered attorneys, esquires, and so forth. Uh, they think that if a losing party in a court case loses their argument or loses the case, whatever laws that they used in their argument, uh, they they basically, the local public servants view those laws as invalid. So if they can basically, let me put it in this context, if they can manipulate a win through the court against particular laws that they don't want to follow, well, they think in their mind that it invalidates those particular and specific laws, and then they don't have to follow them. So, like in my situation, dealing with this noise and nuisance problem, um, they think that because they manipulated the court and was able to manipulate the win against me, that the laws that I was using in my arguments, in my defense, uh, they're, I guess, viewing those particular laws as being invalid, so they don't have to follow them now. That's what these people are telling me. I'm not making this stuff up. That this is what they are saying to me. Um, so when I used in my defense the Ohio Revised Code 715.49, sections A and B, they are claiming now, because the jury and everyone else involved ignored the truth and made a decision with a particular engineered outcome, um, they now view that particular law, 715.49 of Ohio Revised Code, sections A and B, they view it as being invalid now, that they don't have to follow it. This is what they're telling me. And so, even using some of the articles of the constitutions and amendments in some of my filings, um, they are trying to tell me that they invalidated these particular laws through that process, through that court hearing, or that the court proceedings rather. Um, Now this is contrary to established law. There's no law that gives these people authority to do this. In fact, it's the contrary. They are bound. Period. They are bound by the higher authorities. Uh, so even though they have uh, autonomy to be able to establish their own local laws how they see fit, they cannot contradict any of the established laws from the higher authorities. Period. That's according to the law. You can look it up and read it yourself, educate yourself about it. But what these people think that they're doing, what these traitors, these public servants that are traitors, uh, what they think they're doing, and what they're kind of getting away with, because there's a lot of people here that are just cowards and turn a blind eye to what's going on. They're purposefully, willfully, blatantly subverting the rule of law, trying to subvert the Constitution. And the more and more they can get away with this, uh, And the more that people, the local population, we the people accept it, because let's face it, silence is acceptance, acquiescence by silence. Even if you don't know about it, if you don't say anything, it's still acceptance, because ignorance is no excuse. Many times, like not just what I'm doing, but even these people themselves, they'll put public notices out there. And when nobody responds, nobody says, hey, that's not in accordance with the law, that's not right. Nobody says it, nobody speaks up, well, that empowers them to do more. So, yeah, it's making more sense why they chose the route that they chose rather than doing the right thing when dealing with the situation that I was forced into. And instead of addressing the noise issues and forcing these business operators to mitigate their production noise and so forth, they attacked me. And it was because they thought that by attacking me and manipulating the court that they could get out of the responsibility of following the law. Because they think in their minds that if they can get a win against that particular law in court, that it invalidates that law. That's not how it works. But, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And when there's no accountability, these people seem to get some really creative ideas of what they think the law is. Unfortunately for them, it's not in line with what the actual law is. It's a figment of their imagination. It's not consistent with anything established from a state or federal level. So, they can play around all they want to, but eventually that's going to come around and bite them in the ass, because all this is getting put on the record, not just from what I'm doing and putting this public record here, but throughout the courts and throughout these proceedings, all of that's getting recorded, whether through transcripts or what have you. All of that is getting documented. And so what these people don't realize is eventually it's just going to take the right authority doing the proper investigation into this, and the whole house of cards will fall. And these people will start going to jail and prison because they are no better. In fact, they're way worse than most of the people that I was in jail with. The only difference is they play on your ignorance and make you think that they're doing the community a service and protecting the community by putting people in jail and all this other bullshit. It's all really just a scheme. It's a fraudulent scheme to profit from. You would be amazed at the amount of money that they're making off of each case, regardless of what it's about, what the situation is about. You would be amazed at how much money they're making off of these cases. So that starts to create a motive. There's an opportunity to make money, and there's, in their mind, an opportunity to get out of the responsibility of having to follow the law. And so, that's motive enough for these people to do what they're doing, of which I have evidence of what they're doing. So it's not like I'm making this stuff up. It's just absolutely amazing. Cowards and traitors everywhere.